Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Apophis here, and welcome to the first episode on Apophis Tech and Reviews. Welcome to another video, guys. This is the first video that I'm gonna upload in 2024, and it's gonna be a headphone review, of course. Why not? You know me, right? So today we are gonna discuss the Bowers Wilkins PX7s2 Headphones by Bowers Wilkins. Let's get into the review of today's headphone. Whoosh! Alright, so let's talk about Bowers Wilkins PX7s2. I have owned these for about a year now, and I'm very satisfied. I still use them, even though I have the more premium Focal Batiste also with me. Now, of course, these are two different pair of headphones. I'm gonna do a separate video on each of them. Today I'm gonna talk about the PX7s2s, and in the other video I'm gonna talk about the Focal, because these are on a whole other level when it comes to premium headphones. But yeah, let's compare the PX7s2s to my Bang&Olufsen H4 second generation or my Sennheiser Momentum 3 wireless. Or how do they stack up to a entry-level Sennheiser HD350s? And what do you get more for the price? Let's explore. Alright, let's first talk about price. Now, you can pick these up right now for 295 euros. Original retail price, 429 euros, which is what I paid for these when they were new, right? Of course, 429 euros is a lot of money, but it basically, sits in the same class as the Quiet Comforts Ultra, which you can now buy for 399 to 400 bucks as well, something like that. Of course, the Bang&Olufsen HX, so the more premium variant of my Bang&Olufsen H4 with touch controls and stuff like that. And of course, it sits at the same price class as the PX7s2E, which is the newer generation compared to these first generation PX7s. Let's talk about why you should pick the Bowers Wilkins over, for example, a Sony or a Bose. Well, once you step into the world of premium audio, it's very, very noticeable that Sony and Bose sound very bloated and very, how do I say it, muffled. That's the first thing I noticed. And these also sound quite muffled when it compares to my Focal Batiste. But of course, you're paying for the driver units, right? So what do you get with the Bowers Wilkins that you don't get with a Sony or a Bose? First of all, the driver units. The driver units are 40 millimeters. You get two 40 millimeter driver units made from cellular material. Of course, it resonates much better, which means also with the Bowers Wilkins app, you can actually adjust the bass frequency, the bass response, and of course your mids and highs. But what the Bowers Wilkins is well known for, same thing as Bang&Olufsen, of course, is their clarity. What I noticed with a lot of, premium headphones, they sound bassy, they sound boomy, that's good. But what I noticed once I entered the stage of Bang&Olufsen, Bowers Wilkins, and the higher end brands, that they don't only sound boomy without sounding bloated, so they have a nice bass response, but they don't sound as, flat, or how do I say it, bloated. They have a good clarity, separation into vocals, separation into instruments. You can hear every single detail. Music is layered, right? So every single, recording is should be layered on top. So you have your background instrumentals, your front instrumentals, your, drums, your guitars, and then of course you have your vocals. And it's all layered on top of each other to create that beautiful, music that you're well accustomed to listening to. And these can elevate that type of experience much more than any Sony or any Bose on the market. Now, of course, it's a personal preference. When we're talking about audio, of course, it's a personal preference. And once you step into that world of more refined, more luxurious audio, you never want to go back to a simple Marshall, Bose, Sony. It's just not enough, right? So, first of all, I want to say these are targeted towards a different pair of clients. Someone who don't mind spending a lot of money on a pair of headphones. And there are worse choices than these Bowers and Wilkins PX7s2s, like the AirPods Max, for example, or of course the Dyson On-Track headphones. More on those later. But anyways, let's switch the camera and take a closer look at this pair of headphones. Alright, so we switch the camera, let's talk about these Bowers and Wilkins PX7s2s. Now, of course, let's talk about the case. It is basically a travel case, just like on the Focal, just like on the Sennheiser. And of course, if you want this with Bang & Olufsen, you will have to buy it separately. You can buy a woven travel case or a leather travel case for your Bang & Olufsen headphones. Now, of course, you know, the presentation is quite nice, the material is quite nice, but it's not something that is so, special about these, because Sony and Bose also provide a travel case. Now, in terms of play and feel, it does feel very premium, and I like the design with the simplistic Bowers & Wilkins logo. So it's no logo or no thing, it's just a name, and in my opinion, it's a very, very simplistic but luxurious case. Now, if we open the case, of course, we have the beautiful headphones. The headphones are copper detailed with the Bowers & Wilkins logo engraved in copper right here on the shelves. You have, of course, aluminum cups, aluminum build. Of course, we have lamb's leather on the band. We have memory foam cushions right here. We have the 40mm full range dynamic driver units inside of the cups, and they are actually angled in like a sideways form. This actually allows you, and I don't know if you can see it, let me get the light real quick. So these are actually angled in a 90 degree, well, no, not necessarily 90 degrees, but in a 30 degree angle, so the audio quality comes out much better, and of course the bass sounds more rich. In that regard, of course, lambskin leather cushions. This is the difference between a Bose, Sony, or a Bowers & Wilkins or a Bang & Olufsen. The Bose cushions or the Sony cushions are terrible. They're terrible. And especially, for example, if we compare it to the AirPods Max, for example, beautiful cushions, but of course it's woven, it's not leather, so it feels quite heavy and quite annoying. These are not necessarily the lightest pair of headphones, of course, because of course, the build materials, aluminum, but they are definitely lighter than my Focal Batiste that I have laying next to me. Of course, controls wise, you have your volume rocker up and down, play and pause. Of course, to power down the headphones, you just press this button down. To pair the headphones, you press the button up, then the headphone would power on with this light, right? To enter pairing mode, you just slide the rocker up. There we go. And of course, you will get your blue light like you are used to on a Bluetooth pair of headphones. This button is, of course, your media control. So this is basically, you can customize this button, skip and pause tracks. You can activate ambient aware because this has 6 microphones, 2 microphones for call quality, and 4 microphones for noise cancelling. Now, of course, when it comes to noise cancelling, these are not the best headphones on the market. If you're looking for the best noise cancelling headphones on the market, go with the AirPods Max from Apple or go with the Sony or Bose Quiet Comforts. These are more focused to audio quality. If you want the best noise cancelling, you better pick Sony or Bose or the AirPod Max. If you want sound quality, you buy Bowers & Wilkins, Bang & Olufsen, Focal, Mark Levinson, Audace, etc., the high fidelity brands that, make studio headphones for over 20-30 years right now. Of course, Bowers & Wilkins is also known for their beautiful speakers, of course, and they make one of the most expensive speakers on the planet, somewhere costing around 100 grand. So in terms of audio quality, you know that you're buying a quality product. So, of course, beside the headphones, we have 2 cables. And of course, the cables are branded with this beautiful Bowers & Wilkins stripe. It's nothing new, but I wish Sony or Bose would do the same thing. Engrave maybe their brand on the cables or give a more premium feel. Now, these cables are nothing special, to be honest. I have better cables from Audio Quest that I use for my pair of headphones. Of course, these cables cost between 100 and 150 bucks, so it's quite expensive. But these are the cables that you get with the headphones. They're not terrible, but they're not the best either. So that's about the presentation. So let's talk about these pair of headphones and how they compare to, of course, the rival from Bowers and Wilkins, Bang&Olufsen. Now, in terms of soundstage, in terms of sound quality, I would say the Bowers and Wilkins are more focused on bass response. These are bass heavy. I would say for most people that love Bose headphones, the Bowers and Wilkins will be more suited to your liking than, of course, the Bang & Olufsen. What I noticed with Bang & Olufsen, though, is their clarity. Clarity is something that, you know, is very hard to achieve, even for headphones in a premium price class. Sometimes headphones in a premium price class sound too shell, sometimes too peaking, right? So it's like the high tones are so painful to listen to, and that's something I don't notice with the Bang & Olufsen. Once I use these and I listen to vocals, jazz, maybe some, you know, sax or something like that, I notice that these high tones, high frequencies are fully made, but still not distortions or indeed bloated, like we say. With the Bowers and Wilkins, once you crank these up to 75 to 80%, the sound clarity is phenomenal, but not as phenomenal on the Bang & Olufsen, sorry. So these are actually tailored to two different types of people. So if we talk about clarity, Bang & Olufsen takes the stage. But when it comes to bass response and bass clarity, the Bowers and Wilkins blow these out of the water. This is the only problem that I had with my Bang & Olufsen H4's second generation, that the bass response isn't as deep, isn't as rich. You cannot feel like the audio is, you know, swarming around, and these do that as well. These do that very good. The bass feels like you are in a concert. It feels like you're there. It's amazing. Of course, you have the Bowers and Wilkins app that you can pair with these headphones. Same thing goes with the Bang & Olufsen. Same thing goes with the Focal, of course, and the Sennheisers. It's basically nothing new. You can adjust the equalizer, but of course, the soundstage on these are more focused than, of course, on the Bang & Olufsen. Once you play with the Bang & Olufsen soundstage, you notice that the headphones really change in terms of warmth, in terms of sound quality, and in terms of clariness. When you adjust the volume rocker and, of course, the equalizer on the Bowers and Wilkins in the application, it's, I would say, not as noticeable. You will hear more bass, you will hear more treble, but it's not that the soundstage changes. While on the Bang & Olufsen, once you play with the equalizer, the sound of the headphone changes drastically. So that's the big difference between these two. Beautiful pair of headphones, both beautiful pair of headphones, of course, but it's a very different experience. And of course, if we pick my 4-year-old Momentum 3 wireless in the mix, right? Also a very beautiful pair of headphones. Sennheiser, of course, also well known for their studio quality headphones. These are the Momentum 3s, also very bass heavy. Very heavy headphones because of the metal construction right here. The pads, of course, are different. But still, they function, they do an excellent job when I want to do critical listening. Not as much as the Batiste, of course, but yeah, I would say in general, having different pair of headphones really shows the difference between different brands and stuff like that. But yeah, these are excellent travel headphones. Now, of course, 4 microphones for noise cancelling. Noise cancelling is pretty good. But of course, it's not as good as on the AirPods Max or, of course, on the Quiet Comforts Ultra or the XM5s. But of course, the XM5s, the Sony XM4s, the Bose Quiet Comforts Ultra, and the AirPods Max lack in sound quality when it compares to the bigger brands like B&O and B&W. Now, overall presentation, I think these pair of brands, B&O, B&W, are one of the best headphones you can buy. The reason why I did go with the PX7s2s and not with the PX8s is because I was eyeing on, of course, my Focal Batiste. These are my big boys. These are the most expensive headphones that I own. And of course, I will do a separate video following up this video, of course. But I can show you guys them. This is on a whole different level, of course. Of course, we have aluminum magnesium driver units, 40 millimeters, magnesium shelves, aluminum build, but I will do that later. These are very, very good. These are the best headphones when it comes to Bluetooth quality, but also has a very special feature which I will talk later in a separate video. All right, so let's switch the camera and yeah, talk about the PX7s2s more. Alright, so what's my overall opinion on, of course, the Bowers Wilkins PX7s2s, especially for the price class that they are right now? I think you should buy these over a Sony WXM4 or, of course, a WXM5, or, for example, a Quiet Comforts Ultra because they're priced at $299. Would I recommend you spending $429 on a pair of Bowers Wilkins? If you are looking for a pair of headphones that you want to invest in, you better buy the Bowers Wilkins PX8s, which you can find for $599 instead of $699 nowadays. These will be your better pick. Of course, the drivers are different on the PX8 and on the PX7s2s, so you will get, of course, that more rich mids and highs like on the Bang&Olufsens, but of course keep your bass response and your bass clarity of the Bowers Wilkins PX7s2s. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next video once I review my Focal Batiste. Leave a comment down below what you want to see next for me to review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Whoosh!